What's going on, everybody? Mr. Octagonal here, and we are back with day number 2 of the 13 Days of Christmas Rebuild MyLeague with your Alaska Chill. I don't know why it says Anchorage. Did that not save? Oh well. So here's a look at the team that we drafted last episode via the expansion draft. We also signed the man, the myth, the legend, J.R. Smith, for us to get an extra roster spot after we put some guys in the G League in Bowl and Kyle Guy. And obviously, this is a very young team. We're not going to be good this year. But, we do got some trade pieces in Ricky Rubio and Steven Adams and some young players we can hopefully build around. So here's a look at the rotation. The starters will be Derek White, Josh Hart, Matisse Feibel, Rodions Kurucs, and Steven Adams. And the bench unit will look like Thomas Bryant, Ricky Rubio, followed by him, it'll be Amari Spellman. And then Derek Jones will get some minutes along with Fiondu Kabengele. We'll try to get Trier and Carson Edwards some playing time throughout the season. But for now, that's the best we can do. And then the scoring options will be White, Hart, and Kurucs. For future reference, I will turn the injury and trade pop-ups off because that was probably annoying to have them flash up but not be able to read them. Anyway, our team is doing really bad, like really bad, which is good because we're tanking. And this will help us get a high pick. Why not get some more draft capital? Ricky Rubio, Derek Jones, a pair of seconds, and Fiondu Kabengele will get us the first rounder of my Detroit Pistons, as well as Tony Snell, Tim Frazier, my boy Savai Mikhailuk, and a trade exception. And then we're not done yet. We want more picks, and we're going to get more picks. And this one involves our other piece of trade bait, Steven Adams. He's headed to Atlanta along with Alonzo Trier, Tim Frazier, Savai Mikhailuk, I hate to trade him, and J.R. Smith, as well as a second. We're getting the Atlanta Hawks first-round pick along with Evan Turner, Tyrone Wallace, Alex Len, Vince Carter, and Damian Jones. So welcome to the team, boys. None of you are going to be really big pieces for us, except for that draft pick, though. I'm sure that'll be a big piece for us. And then I want to let Vince get a ring. I don't want to have him suffer here in Alaska, so he's going to the Clippers for a pair of second-round picks, along with a trade exception that'll be heading over to Alaska. So welcome to the team, second-round picks. And then the new look rotation. The starting lineup, for the most part, will stay the same, of White, Hart, Feibel, Kurucs, and then instead of Adams at center, it will be Thomas Bryant. Amari Spellman will be the main six-man. Carson Edwards gets minutes. Damian Jones will get some playing time as well. None for Alex Len. Quick disclaimer, we made trades for Josh Okogie and JJ Redick. They did not show in the video. I do not know why, but if you see them on the roster, just know that all makes sense. Season number 1 is now in the books. Giannis Antetokounmpo wins his second straight MVP. John Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies wins Rookie of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year will go to Serge Ibaka, who has been traded to the Washington Wizards. I think John Wall might have been traded to the Raptors and Kyle Lowry's on the Wizards. I don't know. Kawhi wins Defensive Player of the Year. Josh Hart wins Most Improved. And then Brett Brown wins Coach of the Year. So obviously we're not going to have anybody on the All-NBA teams because we are the chill and we also suck. And obviously we don't have anybody. No surprises for the All-NBA teams. And the All-Defensive teams, no real surprises either. We could have someone on a rookie team. We don't have anyone on the first All-Rookie team. And then the second team sees nobody from our squad. So we don't have anybody on the All-NBA teams, which is fine because we were absolutely dog poo this year. So now it's time to simulate the playoffs. But first, let's take a look at the standings. We finished second to last in the conference behind the Mavericks. So we're probably not going to have the top projected pick, but we'll have a high projected pick. There are no real surprises about these playoffs, I guess, other than Miami being in the West. And I did not notice this until next episode, so they will be in the Western Conference for another season after this one. Also, we are speeding the playoff simulation because 2K playoff sim this year is literally molasses. And the NBA Finals goes to 7 games, but the Clippers beat the 76ers. Paul George is named Finals MVP. Vince Carter gets a ring. Kawhi gets his third ring. Third on a different team as well, which is quite crazy. So now it's time for the fun part, the off-season. Obviously, this season did not go the way probably the fans wanted to. It did go the way that I wanted it to. So first up, player retirements. Vince obviously retiring with a championship. Also got Zach Randolph retiring as a Blazer, which is kind of strange. Okay. Udonis Haslem finally calls it a career, all 16 seasons with the Heat. Staff retirements. Bob Weiss of the Nuggets is gone. I don't know who you are. Vince Carter obviously makes the Hall of Fame. Not really a surprise. And league meeting. Something I mentioned last episode is for every season we will add an obscure rule to the NBA. Of my choice, not one of these default rules, because it needs to be something that I think will be fun. And the rule we're going to go with for this year involves foul outs. And they will be eliminated. So you can no longer foul out of an NBA game. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but we're just trying to have some fun here. So, guys who get in foul trouble, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, I guess the opposing team can still get in, like, the bonus and stuff, so you want to avoid fouls, but they're not as big of a deal if an individual racks up a high number, so maybe this will make the game a little bit more physical, at least if they did that in real life. League realignments, there are no changes because I am a literal idiot who did not notice that the Miami Heat were in the Western Conference. And now on to the draft lottery. We have the 3rd and 11th projected pick, and holy smokes, the draft lottery helped us. What? This is new. If you guys are familiar with my 2K history of draft lotteries, they always screw me. They always do not help me, and I guess they're changing it up. We are projected to have 3 and 11, but instead we have 1 and 11. So we have the very top pick in the draft. Also, we are totally firing our staff, getting a totally new group of guys leading the charge, potentially with Michael Stauffer as the head coach. I mean, all A-pluses sounds pretty good. Also could be looking at a guy like Jacob Underwood as well. So here's a look at the new staff. Noah Vincent, Carter Yao, Jacob Underwood as the head coach, Trent Peterson, Cuba Gooding, and Trey James. Welcome to the team, boys. Hopefully these men will lead us to the promised land. And now for pre-draft workouts, and we are literally just going to look at the top 12 guys because that is where our main focus is. We want to get a best look at the guys who are at the top of the draft. We have 2 picks in the top 11. Maybe if we make a move, we can get a 3rd. And we want to make sure we know the most about these players because we cannot totally swing and miss on a high draft pick, especially the first pick. I mean, we've seen teams like the Blazers and the Cavs totally mess up with guys like Greg Oden, guys like Kyrie. No, I'm kidding. But Greg Oden was a bust, and the Blazers haven't been too successful since then. I mean, they did get Dame. They have made Western Conference Finals, but it did sort of hold the Blazers back that they didn't get a guy like Kevin Durant. So here's a look at the pre-draft workouts, some guys who we could be looking at, and we might as well look at the offers for the first pick. Could get a guy like Zach LaVine, Colin Sexton, Tobias Harris, Rudy Gobert, Buddy Hield, Mitchell Robinson. There are some good players in here. Oladipo, Jamal Murray. But none of them are worth the first pick. And it was a little bit of a tough choice, but we're going to go with James Wiseman. Best player in the draft. We got ourselves a franchise big man who can be an elite center in the game. So welcome to the squad, James Wiseman. This is the player we will be building around. And we're going to be making a big boy trade. Pick 11, J.J. Redick. And we made a trade for J.J. Redick midseason. I don't know why it didn't show, but okay. Matisse Thybulle, a 2024 first and a 2023 second, will get us the 4th pick from the New Orleans Pelicans. And we're going to go with point guard LaMelo Ball. We were choosing between Ball and Wiseman at number 1. And we get both of our guys, so welcome to the team, Melo. And then with our other first-round pick, this is the one from Detroit. We're going to go with a draft and stash player named Amar Sia from Senegal. So welcome to the team, Amar. And with our second-round selection, we're going to go with Ochai Agbaji from Kansas. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, you know what it is. Welcome to the team, Ochai. And that would do it for our draft. So we're going to end up with Wiseman, Ball, Sia, and Agbaji. Sia will join the squad next season, but not this upcoming season. Now looking at the team and player options, everybody who has one is coming back. Josh Okogie, Amari Spellman, Bol Bol, and Tyrone Wallace. Tony Snell also, unsurprisingly, accepts his player option. So looking at the rest of the league, Anthony Davis headlines the players who have declined their options and will be headed to unrestricted free agency. Andre Drummond, go Pistons, will be joining him. We got qualifying offers for Damian Jones and Kyle Guy. They will both be given to them. Hopefully we can bring them both back, especially Kyle Guy. And now on to free agency. And we're not going to go after Anthony Davis. I can't see us getting him. And I don't think we're really going to go after anyone big year one. Probably more trade bait unless we find a young player we can build around, which there won't be too many unrestricted ones in this free agent class. So we're going to go after Marcus Morris. Perfect example of good trade bait. Also going to try to sign Frank Mason because he is my literal father. Wink, wink, JK. Love you, Frank. So we bring in Marcus Morris and Frank Mason. Welcome to the team, gentlemen. Also agreeing to contracts with Damian Jones and Kyle Guy. So all of them are being added to the squad. And then Tyrone Wallace and Tony Snell will get as a future draft pick from the New York Knicks because they are the Knicks. What do you expect? So on to player progression. Bol Bol goes up 7. Our top 3 players are centers. We look exactly like the 2016 Sacramento Kings. The other big ones, Kurucs goes up 3, Spellman up 2. Derek White goes down a decent bit. That's because he got hurt twice, and he only played like half of the games. So he put up good numbers. Speaking of numbers, I forgot to show the stats this year. They will be in the next episode. Silly me. Kyle Guy also takes a big jump. He's going up 6 because of his G League. Frank goes up 4. Carson Edwards goes up 3. So the next stage of the offseason is going to be Summer League, and most of our guys are really young, so I can't say I'm too surprised that we've made it this far. Stanley Johnson is on the team now, so maybe I am a little bit surprised. But yeah, this is basically just our whole roster. Bol Bol coming off the bench, and he's going to be a starter for the actual squad next year. So we get ourselves a first-round bye, going to play the Clippers in the next round, and we do win. Carson Edwards breaks his leg, which sounds terrifying, but when we hopped into Season 2, he was totally fine for whatever reason. I don't get that. We would get eliminated in the next round, so that's tough. Going to give untapped potential to James Wiseman and LaMelo Ball. These are our 2 cornerstones for the next decade, pretty much for the rest of the series, I would say. So we want to make sure they are as good as possible. And on to G League. Josh Okogie, he will be joining the G League. We want to just develop him even more because I do think he can be a really good player. And then Carson Edwards will be joining him in the G League. So here's a look at the lineup for Season 2. LaMelo Ball, Josh Hart, Rodions Kurucs, James Wiseman, and Bol Bol. Off the bench, it'll be Thomas Bryant, followed by Amari Spellman, Marcus Morris, and then Derek White. Derek White's going from the focal point to only 13 minutes. So that's on the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about those few technical difficulties with the Okogie and Redick thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.